Hello, my name is Chantal, and welcome to Create and Conversate, where I will create something, probably freestyle something on my face, talk to you guys, probably rant, ramble, just talk about whatever, and throughout the video, I will most likely eat. So, today's look is inspired by apple cider donuts mug. Yeah. Okay. And I'm also feeling warm right now, so I'm gonna make iced coffee. Okay. And some ice. Ah! Alright. And my favorite creamer at the moment is the French Toast Swirl by International Delight. So it tastes like carbs and butter and syrup, maple syrup. Let's light some candles. Here is the cider donut candle from, what's that place called, Michael's. It smells so good dry, but when I burn it, I don't smell anything. It's so low. How am I supposed to reach? Ah! Right! You weenie. Ah! Okay, it's not working. I have lighters, I just don't know how to use them. So I have like a mountain of matches that I've already used. You weenie, just light! Come on, come on. This apple chai woodcraft candle. I love it because it makes like a crackling sound. Come on. Oh, I broke it out. Do you hear it? Do you guys hear it? And I also want it to smell more carby. So here's Summer Boardwalk from Bath & Body Works. It smells like deep fried sweetness. So notes of caramel glazed popcorn, warm taffy, apples, and salty sweet cream. Alright. My goodness, I'm working so slow. This video is going to be like 3 hours. Alright, light candle. Oh my gosh, so much! So, what should we talk about today? Let's talk about MLMs. That seems like the hot topic at the moment. I had my fair share of MLMs. Network marketing. Well, I never thought they were bad, but I kind of get it now. This fool used to be involved in 7. Well, I think a lot of us have like training, you know, doing those fundraisers for school, like the Seas Candy fundraisers, the Scholastic sales, and what else, selling popcorn, gift wrapping paper, all of that stuff for like Christmas or Halloween, Thanksgiving. So I always thought it was kind of like that. And then like if you sell a certain amount, you get a prize. I think my first involvement with them would be probably Melaleuca. How I got into MLMs was because my mom was always attracted to them. It was her friend who was selling stuff. So I'm not sure if we were just customers or if we did try selling to other people. But I just remember it was just ordinary stuff. I didn't think it was like anything great. Melaleuca, Amway, something that has to do with insurance, something that has to do with travel, DirecTV, if you could count that, and Senegence. My mom and I got involved with the Amway from one of her coworkers, so they're all nurses. I also remember it like not being a whole bunch of great stuff. I'm just gonna keep brushing my face while I talk to you guys. I can't multitask. I remember we had to get a whole bunch of people for one of those parties that you have at home to try to recruit other people, right? Those parties, like, who really wants to go to that? Since they were co-workers, they kind of like ran in the same circle and knew the same people. No one wanted to go, and please, none of my friends wanted to go. By the time she and her husband had to come to our house for in-home parties, of course this was before they actually were here, my mom let them know no one is coming, no one wants to come, we invited everyone. And of course they got mad, like, well, you're not trying hard enough, that's why they didn't come, no one's coming because you didn't try hard enough. I'm like, please, how do you you get people to come to an Amway party? So after that, I guess my mom and her had a falling out or whatever. They still work together. I remember my mom would always make me listen to those training CDs. I don't know if they're training or they're just like inspirational CDs, and they were so lame. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think we had like a booklet of them or like a pack of them. I had to listen to all of them. And my mom would always make me, she'd say, you have to listen to these. Like, these will help you sell. They're inspirational. I'm like, they're not even training CDs. How are they supposed to help me? You know how you just listen to so many inspirational things that they all sound the same and it just does nothing for you. Well, yeah, so I thought those are so useless, all those CDs. And she never listened to them. She'd always make me listen to them to help sell, but it just didn't make any sense. A lot of the times the CDs are just the speakers they invite, or one of their distributors in those conventions. They invite them on stage and then they just talk about their journey. And this one guy and his wife, he was saying, yeah, we didn't care about the products. You know, we all know it's not that great, but we just keep selling and selling and now we're so successful. And I'm like, why would you say that? Why would you say that on these training inspirational CDs that we're all supposed to listen to help us sell product that even you admit is not great? I can't believe that they actually let him continue talking and made this a part of like the CD pack. Anyway, I don't know if they still do that. This was like 10 years ago. That's my story with Amway. This is so fun. So I guess next is some insurance thing. I don't know why my mom was just so sucked in. I guess my mom just always saw these opportunities, but I just feel like she was always sucked into all these MLMs. So I don't have much to say about the insurance MLM and the travel one, but I don't even remember any of their names. So yeah, this insurance one, we were in for a while. I'm like, really? I can't believe I'm selling insurance. After like a few meetings, my mom was like, maybe we shouldn't do it because we don't know people. Who are we gonna sell insurance to? I'm like, yeah. So the next one was some travel one. Again, I don't know the name, but if it's the one I'm thinking about, it's like a travel agency, but they get like all these other deals that already exist, but then we make the price higher and then just convince people that you're getting a really good travel deal. Again, my mom decided, oh, let's not do this because we don't know people. We don't know how to sell. Who are we gonna sell this to? I'm like, duh, yeah. This next one, I guess you could call it an MLM because it's a business where you have people under you, and if they reach a certain goal or like successful, and then they branch out to those people under you branch out as their own businesses, and then those people who are bosses branch out to other businesses and then have other people under you. I'm bad at explaining things. I will put a link to like this documentary that is spot on what it was. And when I saw the documentary, I was like, oh my gosh, this documentary is about me. Were they following me this whole time? It's really interesting. I remember what I applied for was... Actually, I don't remember what I applied for. It's one of those things where like they find your resume and they say, hey, come in. And you're like, okay, but you don't know what it is. You just need a job. Losing my train of thought. So I was called for an interview. I'm like, okay, yeah. And then usually when you go into an interview for a job, you do research on the place. There was like nothing. And with a lot of deep diving, I found some reviews on the business where it said, it's a really good job, but it's not like a normal office sitting down job. You really have to work at it, but it's good. Stuff like that. I found the owner's Facebook business page. It's just pictures of like employees with holding awards, being all happy. I'm like, okay, this looks cool, I guess. I found probably like a generic site about it, which really, it said nothing. It really just said stuff like, oh, Fortune 500 company, blah, blah, blah. It's really a whole bunch of fancy words that say nothing. Based off all my research, there was really like nothing on the company or the business or what they did. So I basically went into the interview clueless. I always do that. Like I always go into the interview and I don't know what I'm being interviewed for. But later I found out a lot of businesses do that. They don't tell you what the job is. Sometimes you don't freaking know what it is until like the end of the interview and you're like, oh, I just wasted my time. In the end, it was to sell DirecTV. And it's one of those businesses where you try to sell things and you try to bring people back to your kiosk. Of course, the company wasn't called DirecTV. It was like one of those companies where they will sell probably a product or like T-Mobile. But in this case, for this specific business, it was to help get people on board to buy or switch over to DirecTV. We would drive to different Costco locations and try to convince people that, hey, DirecTV is so great. It was hard for me because like I don't really watch TV. Even if people ask me, oh, what do you watch on YouTube? I really don't know. I just watch whatever's on. So I guess I didn't believe in the product because I really didn't care. But then like you would have to have some sort of spiel to get people to follow you to your kiosk. Like how much are you spending on your cable? What do you have right now? Do you have this or that? Oh, what? You pay that much? Is that including security? Follow me. Or, oh, you have DirecTV? You don't, but with DirecTV, you could save this much. And if you sign up with me right now in this Costco, it's gonna be even cheaper. I brought people over like twice, but I never closed a sale. So that was my downfall. During the interview, my boss was like, we try to sell like 7 a day. How much could you sell? 7? I could sell like a 13, 14. So he's like, oh, okay, really? Oh, and also during the interview, I don't know how much I try to BS it, but like again, when they ask you stuff like, oh, so what do you know about the company? What makes you want to work here? I don't want to work here. I just need a job. 2, I don't know anything about the company. So whatever I answered was like based off of what I pulled from the little information off of that generic site that really said nothing. You make money off of commission, but you also kind of make money off of other people's commission. So when other people made sales and I didn't, I'm basically taking their money and kind of making them lose money because they're paying me, but I'm not giving anything to the team to offer. During my earlier days, when I first started, of course, I would have like mentors, and they were also people on the team. I'd shadow them. There was this one guy on the team who made a lot of sales, and like his position in the within our small company rose pretty fast because he was good at sales. In training, they tell you approach the people in a nice way. Don't come on to them like you're kind of like their target. And of course, I don't want to do that. People go into a Costco to buy food. So once you enter that Costco, they don't want to be bombarded with people saying, hey, DirecTV, what do you have? I mean, that's so annoying, but that's what I had to do. But mostly that's what the other people that I shadowed did. For example, one of the guys I was shadowing, he would like kind of sneak up on the people, follow them, go up behind them, and then like pop out and say, hey, this, that, blah, blah, blah. That's how he got sales, but like that's not how we're supposed to get sales. Oh, so awkward. We would see a couple walk over to the TV side and he would tell me, go over there, try to sell. Of course, like if I go up to them, it makes them feel uncomfortable and they're like, oh no, it's okay. And then I'd come back and he'd be laughing at me like, ugh, because I didn't make a sale. Well, don't do that to people. If they wanted DirecTV, they would have came to us. If I go into a store and someone else just pops up and say, hey, I'll buy this. It's so annoying. This is how a typical day went. We go into the office and we were a team, including my boss. It was him, me, a lady, and 2 other guys. So we were a team of 5. In the morning, we would go to the main office, have a discussion. We would still be like in office wear. Like I would have a suit on, everyone would have suits on. Talk about your why, this and that. Sometimes it'd be like a call meeting from the boss. After our like hour or 30-minute meeting, we would have to get changed out of our suits, put on our other uniform that says like the company that we're with, what we're selling, and then drive to whatever Costco you were assigned to that day. Stand right in front or inside the Costco, but like in front when people enter, they see you, and then try to get people. After our meeting, my boss was like, hey, stay behind, let me talk to you. And I knew what was up. Honestly, I did not like the job. So as I was working, trying to get customers, I was just thinking in my head, how could I quit? That doesn't seem so obvious that I quit. Should I just say like my car got broken into and I can't use my car so I can never show up to work anymore? I wanted it to be like a believable excuse. During our one-on-one, he was like, so Chantel, how do you think you're doing? And I'm like, I know I'm not doing well. I know I'm losing the company money. And he was like, yeah, I don't want to let you go, because honestly, I felt like I was a good worker. I was doing everything by the book, everything that they said you should do. I was just wasn't making sales. Bringing people back to the kiosk, that was hard. But in the end, I couldn't close the deal. So he was like, yeah, I don't want to let you go, but I am opening up another position. So in the end, I stepped down from the sales and became like the admin. So what I had to do was, in the office, I would just let him know when the next interviewee was ready. And it's like every single day. I mean, it was a good job, that part, because that was the easiest part. So every day he would have interviews for like more reps. And I would just have to let him know, oh, so-and-so is ready for their interview. And so that was my experience with multi-level marketing with DirecTV. And I know they're not the only company that does that. I'm sure other companies outsource that kind of, I guess, strategy to sell their things. Like, I know T-Mobile would be one, or maybe like stuff like ShamWow. other kiosks at like Costco or Sam's Club.
And it's one of those where if you make a certain amount of sales, then you become your own leader. So let's say if I did sell 7 to 14 a day, I would have the opportunity to become like my own boss and then like move out into another office where it's all mine, and then I would have to interview a whole bunch of people and be like, they would be under me and they would be my team. I really didn't want to do that, but that was supposedly the main goal for everybody. I didn't want to do that. I think around the same time doing DirecTV is when I got into Senegence.
I don't know how I found out about it. I was the one who found out about it, and I made that choice to sign up for it. I was already sold on the product before even trying it. Senegence is known for their lip scents, and it's like a long-lasting lip color that doesn't smudge or transfer and stays put. I remember going to like the meetings. My upline, let's call her Rinda, she was like, could you become a millionaire selling these? Yeah, you can, but you'd have to sell a lot of these. So she was telling her story. If this didn't work for her, she would have not stayed with it. But the whole thing is, like, you're supposed to make a living selling lipstick. It should be easy because they sell themselves. I'm pretty sure they don't do this anymore. But they say, ask me about my stripes. You would take like a whole bunch of colors and then put swatches on your hand or your arm, walk around, go to like the store, and then eventually someone's gonna ask you, oh, what's that? What's on your arm? What color is that? How you would sell or recruit people or get people on board. That didn't work. You know how much color I wasted drawing on swatches for people to not ask me about my stripes? All the people I knew who wore makeup didn't care for it. At my other job, I worked at a school. I think I was the only person that wore makeup, or like the only person who obviously wore makeup because they looked like a drag queen. No one wanted to buy makeup. I have a decent following on Instagram, like at least 1,000. Someone out there has got to love makeup because a lot of them did. They just weren't into it. When you try to keep up with personal volume, you're just constantly buying. The camera died because I was talking too long. Senegence has been around since the 90s, but with social media, it just was on everyone's radar again. I know when I used my personal page to promote what I was selling, I actually lost a lot of followers that way. When I had to have my first party, it was so hard because, you know, like cold messaging people, but I didn't do that. I kind of like did it in groups, or I did it like not individually. It was like 500 people on that message, and then everyone seconds after I posted that message, I also made it like an announcement, but after that message, people were just removing themselves from the group. Ding, 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 so fast. And then one comment on like those messages was like, dang, tough crowd. I'm like, oh my gosh. And those like 500 people I specifically picked, no one cared on Instagram, no one cared on Facebook, no one cared in real life. I told my upline that because each month you have to buy product for your personal volume, your PV. How does Bailey Sarian do it? I can't talk and then do this at the same time. This was also during the time of Lipocalypse. It got so popular that there was no product at all. There was no lip product, which is what people wanted. And this was a time where it was getting so much attention that so many people wanted to sign up with Senegence. So once we were signed up, we would have nothing to sell. Like, what? How? And so they would say, oh, try to sell something else, like the lotions or like, you know, the skincare, the shadow scents. But the truth is, if people wanted to buy lipstick, that's what they wanted to buy. Why would I buy a face wash when I came to you and I wanted to buy lipstick? Or they would say, oh, try to sell them another color because like that's the only color you would have, and they would be out of stock of everything else. But if I go to a store and I wanted a certain color, I'm not going to settle on the one color that they have that I don't want. So it makes no sense to try to convince them to buy another color that they don't want because you don't have what they need. And so what my upline would do, you know, I notify her, so-and-so wants this color. She would try to find it somewhere else, drive all the way to my house, and give me that one lip color for me to sell. But because that was a borrowed product, when I made that sale, that money didn't go to me. It had to go back to my upline because I didn't buy that one product that the customer wanted. It was from my upline who got it for me to sell. So that happened for, I guess, a few months. So if I did sell, it was product I didn't have, plus your PV. I would constantly ask, do I have to order every month? I'm like, okay. She said, I don't have to order every month. But then every month she would text me, oh, don't forget to place your order for the month. So again, I would ask her face to face, do I have to order every month? No. And then every month she'd say, don't forget to order. No, it got to a point where like everything you're telling me is a lie. You're forcing me to order, but you're telling me I don't have to order every month. But what people want, we don't have because we're out of stock of everything. So what do I really have to sell? I keep buying things I don't want and I can't sell them. What I found out, I think she sells real estate also. So she sells Senegence. She also does this one business. And when I tell her, I'm not doing well with sales. I'm selling in this city. I'm trying to sell in that city. I try to sell at work, at my other job. No one's interested. I'm doing the swatches on my hand. I'm constantly advertising on my Facebook and Instagram. So what she tried to do is try to recruit me in her other business. At this point, I really don't like her anymore. Like, I'm already losing money from this one, and now you want me to be more involved with you in another business venture? I'm like, no, no. So I don't know what this other business venture thing is, but she was like, you just have to like teach a class or speak, and it's like $1,000 a day. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a lie. That sounds like there's a catch to it that you're not telling me. But she'd always text me, oh, come to this meeting, come to that one. It's for this business, it's for this job opportunity. I'm like, are you kidding me? Eventually, I told her I don't want to do this anymore. So I sent back all my product to her and this biatch. So the thing is, she doesn't like the little oops remover. She doesn't like it. She doesn't sell it because she doesn't like it. There's other ways to remove lip scents. But that was part of my stock. When I sent all my stuff back to her, including my oops remover, she was really mad because like, you sent me this stuff and I don't even need it. I'm like, bitch, if we don't want to be part of the company anymore, I sell all my product back to you. And also, all the sales I made were based off of product that was borrowed from you. So all this inventory is way more than what I even owed you. And she's complaining to me that it wasn't enough, I guess, because part of that value was the oops remover that she didn't want. I'm like, well, tough luck. Okay, lady, you have 2 other jobs that you said if Senegence was really working for you, that'd be the only thing you'd be doing. But you have 2 other jobs. So what's that telling me is she needs other streams of income. This biatch, Rinda, she texted me back saying, oh, I'm so hurt. You stomped all over me. I'm like, I wanted to say so much, but I didn't because I was trying to be classy and professional. I did not stomp all over you, you weenie. You took advantage of me. and you stomped all over me, knowing my situation. Oh, okay. And also, when I first signed up for Senegence and I went to her house to get some borrowed product to sell, before that, we were supposed to meet at another time and she was texting me. So she wanted to get off my back, and this was in the beginning. I got into a really bad car accident. So she was like texting me this, that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I was texting her, I can't talk right now. I just got into a car accident. I'm in the emergency room right now. That was really annoying. I saved some of her text for a while just in case I would need it. I don't know if she ever came back for me. But then seeing it on my phone made me so mad. Seeing her name on my phone made me so mad. I just deleted them all. I'm like, I had to let them go. I deleted all those angry text messages. But to be honest, I got into Senegence because I love the products. I loved a lot of the stuff that they had to offer. The whole reason I got on board was because of lip scents. I think me departing with them was probably maybe 3 years ago. I still have a container's worth, which is like about $500. And those were all opened because those were my sample swatches. Oh, and all the sales that I made were really pity sales. I made a sale to my brother's girlfriend. I don't think she ended up liking it. One was from my dance teacher. I think she was just trying to be nice. Another one was from my friend. She was definitely trying to just be nice. They always tell you, oh, sell to like the medical people in the field, sell it to like nurses, wear it going to the dentist because it's not gonna move when they work on your mouth. I did that. I sold one to a nurse. She ended up returning it because she didn't like it. She didn't like that it stayed. But that was the whole point. That's the whole point. I had one lady who already uses lip scents, but she kept asking for a color I didn't have. Again, Lipocalypse, there was nothing. So that's my story. Yeah, I think that's the last MLM I was with. Another job opportunity I was with that was similar to my DirecTV one. So again, looking for another job. I applied for an HR position because I didn't want to do sales anymore. I went to the place for the interview thinking I was gonna interview for an HR position, and halfway through the interview, the person interviewing me said, so we sell DirecTV. I'm like, I just left a job there to interview for another job that is that, to drive all the way there, to pay for parking, for you to tell me that I'm interviewing for a job to sell DirecTV when I applied for an HR position. I hate when they do that. I was so pissed. He also let me know, okay, so we're looking for people who could manage and control a team. Could you do that? I invested this time getting here for this interview. I think about it all the time. I wish the moment he said what the position really was, I wish I just stood up and said, you know what, we could end the interview right here. I just left this kind of job to be interviewed for the same kind of job. This is the job I just left. There are 3 rounds of interviews. I got to the second round of interviews. So they were looking for people to relocate to Oregon or Canada. I'm like, I don't want to have to relocate to sell DirecTV, which I don't want to do. My dumb butt kept going along with it. This was all in one day. Oh, congratulations! You go into the second round, yay! So this office, though, was like located on the bottom of a daycare, so it was weird. I thought I was at the wrong place. Second interview, we had to walk around the corner out of the office to have our next interview in a Paris baguette. I told the lady interviewing me, it was a lady this time, this is something I've already done. I already tried doing this with my old company. This is what other people did to make sales, and I wasn't comfortable with it. She's like, well, we train you how to approach people in a better way. I'm like, yeah, same with this company, but the people actually making sales was doing it another way. I was honest with her. I was saying I didn't make any sales. I just couldn't bring people in. Again, I was like trying to sell myself, even though I didn't want the job, but also kind of sabotaging myself, but I couldn't fully sabotage myself during the interview. So she was saying, you're saying all the right things, but then again, you're also saying, you know, you couldn't make sales. I got the third interview, which is again the same day. We went back to the office, to some other guy's office. So this time my third interview was with their boss. I went home. Interviews were done. And usually businesses call you to let you know that they want you on their team. And this kind of business, they want everyone. I think they're willing to get anybody and everybody. Yes, anyone with legs. Oh no! I'll fix it later. They kept blowing up my cell phone and leaving messages. I didn't answer because I'm like, maybe if I just don't answer, they'll get the hint that I don't want it or I got another job. Nope. They were blowing up my house phone. I'm like, they keep going at it. I think it happened like for a few days. I'm like, they really, really need someone? Do they really want me that bad to like go to Oregon? Go to Canada? I'm like, if I didn't get the job, why would they constantly call for like days? Just to say, oh no, you didn't make it. That's also my story with DirecTV 2.0. Let's just pretend that Spot is not there. Let's just pretend. I'm so jumbly with this. Anyway, back to Senegence. During my makeup party, I was surprised anyone even showed up. And it was weird because like the people who showed up, they were people that I did not expect to show up. I just needed an actual body there so my upline wouldn't get mad at me like what happened with the whole Amway party, how we were scolded for not having anyone come to the party. So I was even telling my sister she was gonna hang out with her friend on that day. I'm like, could she come, like, since she's coming over anyway and you guys are gonna hang out, could she just be like, I just need a physical body. I don't need you guys to like really buy the product. I just need you there so it looks like I have people at the party. That's one person. My friend came just to be nice. And one of my students came, which I did not expect. I'm like, why would she come? I have a whole bunch of jobs at the same time. She was one of my old students from an old school. She was probably one of the students who really didn't care for my class. She brought, I think it was her cousin or her friend. I'm not sure, but she brought someone else. And so the party consisted of me, my upline, Rinda, my mom, my sister, my sister's friend, my former student, and her plus one. It was a really awkward party on that table. Okay, my sister's friend, her name is, let's call her Clarissa, was sitting on that chair. And I could even already tell by her face that she hated what was going on. She hated the products. You know, lip sense, they say like there's like a tingle, there's a burn first, the first time that you use it. My upline didn't explain that at all to any of the people in the party. So this girl, Clarissa, this bitch, she was like texting my sister like, my lips fucking burn or something like that. Like she's just being so rude. And then my sister had to text that to me. And I was like sitting over here somewhere like saying, oh, Clarissa, her lips are burning. So I had to tell my upline who's sitting on that chair, like, you know, it's making her uncomfortable or whatever, could she take it off? Clarissa, who was already in a bitchy mood, I guess was even more bitchy, but you know what? I could read people's faces, especially if it's so obvious. I could already tell. So she was talking crap on her phone, showing it to like my former student, like showing her, oh, like I'm pretty sure what her thoughts are about it. You know, when you like show someone something and then they snicker and then they look up because like laughing at that person to see if, you know, they get it. Anyway, I could see all that. We're all sitting at this table. Like I could see what you're doing. I could hear that you're laughing, and I could see when you're looking up and looking at, you know, her or looking at me. I mean, it's just rude, right? I didn't ask them to like the products or to buy. I didn't force them. I specifically told my sister, I just need a body there. Just pretend. I just need a body there. She couldn't even do that. Like, she couldn't even just have the courtesy to pretend. Like, I bring you into my house. You eat the food that I brought over. And then you talk crap right in front of me and my upline. They were all just basically mocking what was happening. I could read the room. It was so awkward. When we all said our goodbyes, I'm like, you guys don't have to buy the products. Just thanks for coming. Take all the food. Take all the food home. And then my sister came home after her outing with her friend, was saying, you know, like, Clarissa said, like, it's a really bad idea, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't be doing, like, okay, but I did not ask that of her. All she had to do was be respectful in my house. I only asked her really to pretend to be there. I only needed physical support. After that, I told my sister, she's not welcome in this house ever. I hate your friends. She's never welcome to this house. She disrespected me right in front of me. And also my actual friend who was there, I felt like didn't talk to me afterwards, after the longest time. What ultimately led me to leave was I did not like my upline, and I'm pretty sure she no longer liked me, considering her text messages were just awful. And that's what they do to you, like they guilt you when you leave. I'm like, no. I mean, to each their own. I can't think. I'm just curious how Senegence tells their distributors how to sell now, because I really think like the whole ask me about my stripes is outdated. Okay. Eyeliner, definitely not perfect, but let's pretend. Maybe some brown. Oh, okay. Oh. Good thing nothing fell into the candles. So I just want something like a warm brown for the base, and then blush. Swirl, tap, buff. In the comments, if anyone watches this, please drop what MLM you were a part of. I mean, you don't have to. I don't think anyone's gonna watch this. A lot of my lipsticks are so old, but I really need to use them all up. But I love how long they stay. They're my favorite, actually. No one understands. But honestly, it's not for everyone. Like, lip sense really doesn't work for my mom. It doesn't last. Got my lashes on. I didn't end up putting any gloss on this. I think it looks fine on its own. It's shiny because it's a shimmer color. I wonder what I should talk about for my next video. The next Create and Converse 8. I wish I had props. Like a whole bunch of apples with me. It'll have to do. It'll have to do for now. Okay, time for posing. Let me use this donut that I haven't finished. Well, I'm gonna keep this on for a little bit before I wash it off, because I'm liking it. Oh, look at that! Look at that highlight. How about this one? Okay, this side is just better. So, until next time, bye-bye.